But here I'm going to bring in the elements of the scene that I had. I think that's, let's see. Okay, I got this. So here's a ground plane. So one of the things I did was I generated this ground plane. So this was generated with Nano Banana. So asking for like cracks in the ground, like slight debris. If you look at the Nano Banana history that I have here, this is what I'm doing. It's kind of refining it. I didn't like previous ones. I got rid of some plants. I added some debris, but I wanted to have like a 1,000 foot view. And to me, this was like a 5 foot view. So I didn't, I thought the debris was too big. So here's my ground plane. So I can take this and rotate this. Oops, left it. So I have my ground plane here, and I'll just raise this up and then scale it. Actually, what I want to do too is adjust the origin on this. So there's an origin here, but it's not located on the geometry. Let's see there. Now when I scale it, it's scaling out from the center. So what I like about using ZoeDepth with other tools is you get the texture and you get like little bumps. There's like a hill, little hills. I put little characters on there maybe. So I have that piece. Let's see. Another piece I generated with this was like some sort of hill or like a fort. It's kind of like a weird abstract type element. So, oh, no, that's the ground again. Let me go back. Is this one? Oh, yeah, there. So I had this like little kind of some sort of alien outcropping of some sort. So I'll add this to the scene. So I'm just going to rotate it. And then I have to do the same thing where I have to adjust the pivot point. So the origin, I don't know why, but it's like located here. It has to be in the center. So it just scales better. So I'm going to set the origin to the geometry. Then I'm going to scale this up, hit S. Oh, it's not still scaling up. So this is kind of like this kind of interesting central element. What I kind of liked about the results of ZoeDepth is these weird kind of things that hang. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's kind of like a central area down there. I think I played with the ground plane a little bit too. I just rotated this a little bit, just kind of scale it up a little bit more. So you're just building out a scene basically. And the geometry being generated from ZoeDepth is pretty straightforward. You just put an image in there and you get a textured element out. So you could play with Nano Banana. You can even make your own textures in Photoshop and use ZoeDepth if you wanted to start building out your environments really quickly. So if you do have like a game world where you do know what the environment is going to look like and you created that as a drawing first, then bring it into ZoeDepth and get a little depth out of it. And then let's see, I have my little flying creatures that I'm going to add to the scene. So I'm going to add those. So let's see where I think right here. Let's see where those guys are. That's my little flying little guy here. So just building it out. What I did with this was I created like a flock of these little creatures, kind of see them flying over, and then doing a quick animation. So just G, oh, didn't do it, but it should set a keyframe for this. There. Oh, okay, maybe it's setting it. There you go. So you have your little flying creatures in the scene. So that's pretty much it. Building out like a whole environment, just using all these different techniques. Do you have any questions about some of these techniques?
No, it was just actually cool to see that there's just so many options out there. That's kind of what I got out of it. It was just like, okay, how do I navigate basically every startup? There's a new startup every hour. So
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how there's so many startups doing this stuff. And technically, it's like it's like you need to use that many of them. Like with some of these techniques, it's like you can stick with like ChatGPT and then use that technique to create your textures.
yeah, yeah. But thank you so much for going over all that stuff. I'm definitely gonna be checking out Meshy in the near future.
Yeah, Meshy is great. I think that Weavy, you could probably just get Weavy and then have access to so many of them all at once because
Yeah,
Meshy's in there. So
awesome. Cool. Thank you so much.